Greetings, Guardians, my name is Bife here. So Neomuna really came out of nowhere, right? I mean, it's a whole other city in the solar system that has been completely crippled ever since the collapse, and the big question is really simple. Why did we never know about this thing? Why did we never discover the city of Neomuna until this moment? There are a few answers to this question in the lore that do actually give us a reasonable explanation as to what's going on here, and it even ties up a few old threads that we were given early on, even as early on as Witch Queen, but yeah, I need to go ahead and say right here and right now, some critique. The fact that this was never discussed openly in the campaign and was never given a reason as to why, yeah, that was another big fumble that Bungie had there. I know that Ghost raises the idea of, oh man, when we tell Zavala about this, just wait until we see the look on his face. That's not good enough. It's just not okay. We needed more. This was a revelatory discovery and something that should realistically have been a way bigger deal in the narrative if it was going to be concerned with this. I know that we had a lot of other stuff going on, but this was just another thing that made it feel like everything was really packed and like we were kind of just being shuttled along from mission to mission. Critique aside, like I said, there are a few different answers as to why we never knew about Neomuna, so let's move along to our topic, and let's talk about how Neomuna stayed hidden. So first of all, there are a few things that we should note about Neptune before we start anything to do with this discussion. Neptune is a giant. It is a planet that naturally is excellent for hiding something, not only because it's got a massive surface area, but also because the atmosphere of the planet throws up a constant degree of interference, making surveys of the planet not only difficult but inconsistent. If there was a place for a well-equipped group to hide out and survive in the end of the collapse, it was here. That, however, isn't enough to explain away everything. After all, Rasputin was operational for centuries, and it turns out that he had records of something known as Nephele Stronghold, which we now know were intrinsically linked to Neomuna. But the curious thing is that those records were deleted from Rasputin's data, and nobody was really sure who had done it. That is, of course, why the Witness was looking around in Mars, and part of the reason I suspect why it abducted Mars and scarred it with the time rifts that now echo across its surface. You see, it abducted Mars and then scraped through its Golden Age past, looking for records of Nephele Stronghold, records that the present couldn't contain. However, it turns out that it wasn't the Witness covering its own tracks here. The secrets of Neomuna and Nephele Stronghold were deleted from Rasputin's system, but they were deleted by someone else. The strangest part of this is the revelation that it was the Neomuni themselves, and in particular the Cloud Striders, that did this action. Meet the real topic of today's video, Stargazer. Stargazer wasn't just a combatant, they were also a scientist, an astronomer of sorts. They're credited in Neomuna's history as being the first Cloud Strider to use mathematics to pierce the veil of Neptune's atmosphere, and to allow the others of the Neomuni to see not only the stars, but also what was left of Earth. What the Neomuni saw when they looked upon our planet was a world controlled by the warlords, left to ruin in the wake of the collapse. This undoubtedly shaped their foreign policy going forward, and led to the isolationist stance that the Neomuni have adopted. It also probably led to the moment at which we were all known as warlords instead of guardians, a moniker that we've now been able to reject with them. The history of the Neomuni also states that Stargazer did something remarkable to preserve the isolation of the Neptunian human population. Stargazer traveled to Earth and discovered a fragment of Rasputin, a submind, Malahiyati. They then used Malahiyati and their assistants to remove all recorded human data on Neptune and the colony ship that had arrived to found Neomuna. This story gives us a little bit more context as to why the Neomuni are so isolationist. It's because of the experience of what Stargazer encountered upon the world of Earth when they finally returned. This is one of the moments that's revealed in the Cloud Striders Legacies lorebook, under the entry Lamanik Lee. It reads as follows. Signal detected. Protocol. Tight beam. Status. Priority. Origin recognized. Cloudstrider, Stargazer. Decrypting. Transcript follows. Excellent, excellent. Boot sequence is a go. System is yellow. Oh, bother. That door is not going to last. Nope, nope. Thought Golden Age Earth made things to last. Estimate, what, 12 minutes? 7 minutes. Well, we've done more with less, right, Hernandez? Hernandez, please, I really need you to sit up now. Nod. Yosep, I need you to not die. Not after Long and Chabra and Harayati. Cloudstriders are supposed to die, not everyone else. Not part of the arrangement. Yes, okay, we will get back to this. Ah, Malahayati. I'm afraid your timing is awful. What to do now? What to do? I just need quiet, please. Breathe in. Breathe out. Malahayati. Access Information Strategic Operations Global Scale Permission IC 339-22605 Beta Beta Epsilon. Stand by for new operational parameters. It's a little absurd, isn't it, Hernandez? These Earth survivors will kill each other over access to clean water, and we're going to teach them Chaucer? They'll debate Du Fu while dying of sepsis, I suppose. Whatever they can absorb in 5 minutes, at least, before Carnuta's inheritors break down that door. Shouldn't have shot him, I suppose. Oh, no. It's just dawning on me that we perhaps don't want our vindictive little crowd of sycophants pushing all the red buttons in this bunker after avenging their fallen light wielder, No, Hernandez, I don't think we do. I said I need quiet. Quiet. Yes. Malahayati, access WASAT network. What's overhead? Gamma projector? Quick clean? Neurons will be dead before they even register any pain. Merciful. A good deal more merciful than this warband has been with their neighbors. Not just one army, though, eh, Hernandez? No, so many people saw us come down here. Entire camp, 3, maybe 400 people? People talk, warlords listen. A wide dispersal could clean them out. Painless. No, you're right, Hernandez. Inappropriate. We didn't come to be judge and executioner, did we? We came here to teach. No, not teach. We came to preach, bring the gospel of civilization as only we knew it. So then, how to keep the child from playing with the gun? Can't move the gun, can't break the child's hand, so destroy the gun? Malahayati, Sunset Protocol, initiate full system burn. Wait. Malahayati, access Global Archive. Access Rasputin route IC 339-226-0695. Find replace Neptune equals null. Exodus Indigo equals null. Back. Engage Sunset Protocol. Well, Hernandez. Now we find our way home. Once again, we learned that the history of the Neomuni is a little changed and simplified to the general population, but seemingly there is a good reason for this one. When Stargazer and their crew originally went to Earth, their objective wasn't actually to immediately erase all data on Neptune and Exodus Indigo and the idea that there was even a colony vessel headed out that far. It was instead to try and preach, not proselytize, but to preach the gospel of civilization, to return civilization to the people of Earth. And that mission clearly failed, given that a warlord and their army was making it their mission to chase down the Cloudstrider and their compatriots. Stargazer seemingly went and erased all the data on Neptune and Exodus Indigo as a last-ditch effort to ensure that the people of Earth did not retaliate. Stargazer, in this sense, is the one who is truly responsible for the disappearance of Neomuna from all the systems of the Warmind, and from all of our records as well, and they did it with the assistance of Malahayati, one of the subminds of Rasputin, the submind whose fragments would later be confined to the lunar bunker in the Season of the Seraph, the one who would eventually help to reconstruct Rasputin. But, of course, there was a point at which they had power of the Cosmodrome in the Golden Age, and so it's logical that they would know at least a little about Exodus Indigo, which might well have launched from there. So there we have the real reason why Neomuna has stayed hidden for so long. It was the Cloudstriders who deleted all data on Neomuna, and the idea that Neptune was ever colonized. And perhaps the biggest tragedy of all of this is that at the time, they were completely correct to take this course of action. They abandoned the people of Earth and left them alone, so that their civilization could flourish and not be found. And you know what? They were right to do so. Earth at the time being was governed by savages without care for morals or the dreams of the people they ruled. It was only logical for the Neomuni to shut us out, so that they might have a better chance at surviving. If nothing else, it is a truly human tragedy, because if our nature had been better, kinder, more open-minded, more willing to potentially bring benefit to all, as opposed to believing the idea that we live in some zero-sum game, then we might have been better reunited with our brothers and sisters at a much sooner date than this. The world could have been so different if we'd only taken the hand of friendship that was first extended. But now we'll never know what could have been if there had instead been 2 lost cities instead of just 1. That is the history that was never written, and that is our fault. Whilst now we have proven that the name of Warlord is not something that we earned, it is important to understand why we earned it in the first place. We change, but history remains. That is it from me today though. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Do you reckon that it was right for the Neomuni to stop trying? Do you reckon that they should have returned to Earth? I think it's a very romantic idea to continuously return to the home planet of your species, even if it is ruined and filled with barbarians. I think honestly, I don't know if it is completely the correct call at every moment in our history, but at the very beginning, unquestionably, in the time when Lightbearers were first discovering that they had powers that could be used to change the world around them, I could not possibly have determined that it was a poor course of action. Of course, if you want more Destiny lore content as well, go ahead and hit subscribe, and the bell next to subscribe to turn on those email notifications. But as per usual, know that your viewership as always is quite enough for me, and that in the meantime, my name is Byf. Rhodacia ad Astra. I'll see you, Starside.